We are at the house of the Brewster sisters, who were found guilty with the murder of 12 men by putting arsenic into their wine and having them drink it. The sisters were known as the most generous people in town and claimed to have been helping those lonely old men by killing them.
Number of 33 and an atomic mass of 74.9216 grams. This is electron configuration. It has 5 valence electrons and is located in group 15 in row 4 with the non-metals, but it is a metalloid. Here are some of arsenic's physical and chemical properties. Arsenic was discovered by Albertus Magnus in 1250 in the 13th century. Albertus was a German scholastic philosopher. Arsenic originates from the Greek word arsenikon, meaning yellow or pigment. Arsenic occurrence is found as a compound. It's a byproduct of mining and purification of silver metal. The common ores it makes are arsenopyrite, orpiment, and realgar. It's found in the Earth's crust. The uses of arsenic are used to preserve wood, used in car batteries in small amounts. Some small amounts are used in the electronics industry, and small compounds of arsenic are used to make calculators, clocks, and watches. Arsenic's compounds it forms: arsenic trioxide, red realgar, arsenide, arsenate, calcium arsenate.
Arsenic is a very toxic substance. It's found in food, water, and household items. Tobacco smoke, laundry detergent, bone meal, seafood, beer, and even drinking water have traces of arsenic in it. Arsenic can lead to headaches, confusion, and drowsiness. As the poisoning develops, it can lead to changes in fingernail pigmentation. When the symptoms get severe, it would lead to a coma or even possibly death. Ways to test for arsenic poisoning would be by hair analysis or a blood or urine sample. If arsenic is found in the hair follicles, it will stay there for years, so it will be easy to test for. And it will also be found under your fingernails and skin. If you suspect you have arsenic poisoning, you should have a diet that includes a lot of sulfur. The sulfur will eliminate some of the arsenic in your body, and some of the foods that include it are eggs, onions, beans, and garlic. It can also be taken in the tablet form because it provides an amino acid called crystalline. And you can also have a lot of fiber in your diet, which will help wash it out. Another method would be chelation therapy. It's used to remove toxic metals such as cadmium, arsenic, lead, and mercury from your bodies. Metals and minerals can clog your system, and that's what chelation therapy does. It removes it from your body. And it's done by a series of injections of an acid that is done in the doctor's office. You can also do it at home with an over-the-counter medication. It's bought at a food store or drugstore. They are made with alfalfa, garlic, fiber, tern, and selenium. It should be taken 3 times daily with meals. It detoxifies the liver and chelates substances from the body. When doing any chelation therapy, make sure you replace any lost essential minerals from taking the alfalfa, iron, and keep and zinc in your regular multivitamin.
In the past, there have been several famous cases of known and alleged arsenic poisoning. These famous cases include that of George III of Great Britain, Napoleon Bonaparte, Charles Francis Hall, and the Emperor Guangxu of China. George III of Great Britain had very bad health during his life, including several incidences of physical and mental illness. In 2004, studies of samples of the king's hair revealed extremely high levels of arsenic, which is a possible trigger of his disease symptoms and death. It has been theorized that Napoleon Bonaparte suffered and died from arsenic poisoning during his imprisonment on the island of St. Helena. Forensic samples of his hair did show high levels of arsenic, 13 times the normal amount. This, however, does not prove deliberate poisoning by Napoleon's enemies or others. The American explorer Charles Francis Hall died unexpectedly during his third Arctic expedition aboard the ship Polaris. After returning to the ship from a sledding expedition, Hall drank a cup of coffee and fell violently ill. He collapsed in what was described as a fit. He accused several of the ship's company, with whom he had long-standing disagreements, of having poisoned him. Shortly thereafter, Hall died. In 1968, Hall's biographer, Chauncey C. Loomis, a professor at Dartmouth College, exhumed Hall's body. Tissue samples of bone, fingernails, and hair showed that Hall died of poisoning from large doses of arsenic in the last 2 weeks of his life. Consistent with the symptoms crew members reported, it is possible that he was murdered by one of the members on the expedition.
In other news, forensic tests have revealed that China's second-to-last emperor, Gangzu, died of arsenic poisoning 100 years ago this month. An examination of hair taken from Gangzu's body found arsenic levels that were 2,000 times higher than that of ordinary people, leading experts to conclude that Gangzu died of acute arsenic poisoning, the newspaper reported. Also, a woman was found guilty on Tuesday of poisoning her Marine husband with arsenic to obtain $250,000 in veterans' benefits to pay for plastic surgery. Cynthia Summer, a 33-year-old mother of 4, faces a mandatory sentence of life in prison without parole. Scientists found elevated levels of arsenic in the victim, Todd Summers' tissues, more than 1,000 times the normal level in his liver and 230 times the acceptable level in his kidneys. Finally, the Yerington City Council passed a resolution of intent proposing the issuance and authorizing the public notice of general obligation water bonds for the purpose of financing water projects for the city of Yerington. City manager Dan Newell said the step was the second step required by Nevada revised statuses in the city's application for loan funds for the arsenic treatment plant.